Well, we're in Ambassador Square, and there's a whole pursuit through the streets of Tangier, and culminating in this kind of rooftop run. So we got a lot of ground to cover in Tangier.
We're up here shooting a little sequence that leads up to a rather spectacular jump through a window into a kitchen.
We're definitely getting a bit of adrenaline going now. Once you start the chasing, that's what a Bourne movie's all about.
Let's do the stairs and go up to the roof.
Got a pretty long run. There are 5 roofs, a series of 5 roofs strung together. The cable cam, hopefully, is going to run as I sprint. It's going to just be able to, if I'm going this way, it's going to follow like that, so that you can sustain a very long run, because there would really be no other way. To do that, you can't push a dolly that fast, and also the angle is from off the roof, so you actually have to fly the camera on a cable, so it's called the cable cam.
One of the bigger technical challenges of shooting in the Medina, though, is that these cable cams required cranes with towers with thousands of pounds worth of gear.
There's kind of lots of issues about them. We have to build big structures on the roof and use cranes and avoid power lines and things, because we're actually flying the cameras above the power lines of the city. So in order to take just a simple thing like take a line from one end to the other to run the camera on, we actually have to go over all the power lines and the buildings and reconnect the other end.
Brick and mud buildings were made 400 years ago. Don't have the structural load for thousands of pounds of gear. I think first unit actually collapsed a floor. They were on the second floor of a building, and suddenly the floor kind of bowed.
It's wirelessly operated. It's got gyros on each axis, and so it takes out all the movement as you're transversing from one area to another. Variable pan speeds, it can do motion control, recorded moves, even in the when you're stabilised.
It'll run up to about 90 miles an hour, and it can be programmed where you can kind of run it with a joystick or play it back, run partial moves across time and stuff like that.
The cable cam is following him through this little sort of obstacle course on the roof. We're just practicing this little hand pommel over the glass, into the mats.
Yeah, it's probably a two-hander, right? Grab this one. And then
wraps the towel around his hand, comes up to this wall, puts his hand on the glass with the towel around to protect himself, jumps over the wall. Glass.
We're replacing the silicone glass because it's bendy. We're replacing it with toffee glass, which he's going to lean on, and as he leans on it, it's going to crush like normal glass would.
Bourne is on the rooftops. He doesn't have anywhere else to go except make a leap across the street and drop one floor and go through a window. It's a pretty challenging gag. And then I decided, just to make it even more interesting, that I wanted the camera to follow him. So it's like you got a 6-foot guy who's running across the rooftop, making the biggest leap he can make, and trying to make sure he fits himself through a 30-inch by 48-inch hole.
Comes around the corner, just run right to this window.
I was trying to... How far did you let the camera get ahead of you before you started?
The Tangier camera crew is kind of scratching their heads, thinking I'm out of my mind. And it was like, we could have the stunt guy run and jump with the camera. So we turned to one of the stunt guys. I looked at him and said, you look like you can hold a camera. This is desperate for coming across. Okay. If he gets away from you a little bit just before he leaves, that's okay. It's good.
Okay. What about a follow Dave? He's going to do a jump from the rooftop into a kitchen window.
I don't know.
And we're going to follow him with the camera. And we're going to stop before hitting the floor. I'll be flying behind him, or the ropes will be catching me as Dave goes clear through the window. Hopefully.
Well, it's about to really kick off now.
When you see the film and, you know, Bourne's running across the roof, there's no secret trick. It's just captured perfectly by a really smart director with these athletes who are doing things that can humanly be done. It's a great sequence. It's a Bourne sequence. It's of a piece with the other things that Dan has done.
We pulled it off. There's some pretty spectacular shots.
He just, if it's possible, you know, actually ratcheted it up a level.
That was good. That was really good.